Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How is everyone on this fine Tuesday? Fabulous, I hope. I have so much to share with you. You know what? I get so excited building up to these days that I'm telling you, I write little outline for myself, and I have all of my little bits and pieces, but today I'm so excited. Anywho, if you are new here, hey Nancy, please follow me on Facebook at Corbiere-Scott Designs. Please follow me on Instagram at Corbiere-Scott Designs. My art printables that I hand draw with a pencil and a paper, never clip art from me, are available on my website, Corbiere-ScottDesigns.com. And then once you've taken a class from me, please ask to join my private Facebook group, Let's Get Artsy with Corbiere-Scott. And I will tell you that it is really important that you send me your email address, because I send out emails weekly for our Saturday class and then the following week's classes, and that's where I'm going to let you know like what special supplies you might need. So like for this week's Saturday class, I need you to gather up your acrylic paints. I need you to paint your page black with black. Oh, Jan, I'm so glad too. I need you to paint your the page in your art journal or your piece of paper that you're gonna create on. Whatever your substrate is, I want you to paint it with black acrylic paint. And then you're going to need some colors of acrylic paint to emulate the style of this week's artist study. So, and if possible, so I either need you to find yourself a chalk pencil or a piece of chalk, white, just regular old white school chalk. And a pencil sharpener. I know that sounds weird, but it's going to be fun. We're going to have ourselves a time. And now's the best time to get any of those things. With school supplies being inexpensive and readily available for everyone. So remember, black acrylic paint on your substrate. So paint it ahead of time so it's all dry and you're good to go on Saturday morning. And gather your colorful acrylic paints and a chalk pencil or a piece of, or some, like a box of school chalk and a pencil sharpener. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have so much fun. I cannot wait, because it's something totally different and a whole new, because we've been very watercolory, right? But this week we're going to really jump into acrylics. So I can't wait to share it all with you. So you have a little bit of homework, but I think everybody can do that. Hey Maggie, how are you? Another cousin, girls. Hi Carolyn. Hi Jamie. Hi Yolanda. Hey Barbara. Lisa. Oh, I'm so excited to see everybody. I am. Kim. Renee. I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's go through my commercials. So remember that my my artwork on a vinyl sticker are available. These are all available on my website. On my website for $3. They're under Anne's Artsy Loot. So you can stick that to whatever you ding dang please. My stitchery kits are available on Adorn It. This is my Michigan one that I'm still working on. And all of the purchase information, like the links to Adorn It's website and their buying area is the first post on my Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs Facebook page. So it's super easy to find. So without further ado, and I just turned in a bunch of states and I'm working on a bunch of states. So that's pretty exciting. Let's see. Oh, I have a brand new art printable available now. It's called Mom, named after my amazing mom, right, Megs? We will be fiddling with this on Thursday, but it's available now. So if you are wanting to paint along with me, print it off and meet me on Thursday right here. Same bat time, same bat station. Okay, so what I was talking about, has everyone watched Lauren's video from from Sunday, where she talked about foiling? Lauren did a beautiful job explaining foiling and like in so many different ways. So what I thought we could do today is to yes, Renee, you could do the whole thing in backstitch and French knots. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You could do the whole thing in backstitch, and I do most of my kits in backstitch and French knots. So Lauren has generously foiled a bunch of my images for me, so I hope that you can kind of see the foily part of it all. And then I wanted to show you that, like, you can do so many things. Like, once it's foiled, you can, like, add on to that. You could use your images just foiled. You could certainly just add your sentiment and die cut this and mount it on a card base and be good to go, right? But, you know, I couldn't leave well enough alone. Girls, you know how much I love my colors. So this one, because the colors were, let's see, she wrote down, she's so smart, she wrote down for me, this is Thermoweb Rainbow Shattered Glass is the foil that she used. And do you see how it's kind of broken up? That shows the shattered-y part. Anyway, I took one of the sentiments and I just cut it like a little banner, right? And then I took the individual image, and I colored it with my Copics, right? I wanted to do something kind of monochromatic. I had this idea in my head, and so here's what I did. I started with my lightest and built my color that way. And then remember, Lauren had talked about that if you're coloring with anything, if you come back with a paper towel and just kind of buff out the top of your image, then it's really gonna highlight the foil, and that, seriously, so pretty. So there's this idea, right? So and remember I had talked about, I really wanted to share with you some finishing ideas. Hey, Jennifer, all the way from Australia. Thank you for being here, my sweet. So I see, like that, just that little bit of buff totally changed the intensity of the foil. I just love it. Okay, so here's what I'm going to share. I do not like big futzy cards. I don't like a lot of, well, I just don't like, you know, every single thing that you have that's green on one card. I don't. I like simple, elegant cards much better. But anyway, I digress. So I embossed a piece of cardstock and cut it down the middle. I embossed it the size of an A2. And then I cut it down the middle, and then I created a gate card, right? And then my idea was that I want to have this, let's see how I did this. I think it was like this. So I love this white on white, and I used for the embossing folder piece and the card base, I used the exact same cardstock so that the whites would match. And the white of this was printed on matches. That's really important. I know, don't you love that? I just love, it's so versatile, Keels, this circle-y embossing folder. Okay, so what I am thinking, so sometimes when I do this kind of technique, I cut the flower in half, right? That's kind of cool. And sometimes I leave the flower whole and I just let it extend over the edge of that side's flap, right? So I'm going to, but I want to pop it, so I'm using some pop dots on the back side of this card. I'm telling you, I'm so lucky. I hang around with these talented girls, and well, we hang around remotely now. Someday we'll get to sit around my kitchen table and make stuff together again. But anyway, you know, I just think genius breeds genius, right? Like the more you, let's see, so I want to do to there. The more you, like if you hang around someone who just whines and complains about everything, then you kind of whine and complain about everything. If you hang around with someone who is excited about life and is open to new and fun ideas, then you become open to more new and fun ideas. That's my outlook on life, if you want my personal opinion. Anyway, so I think the more you hang around creative geniuses like I do with Lauren and Tessa, the more creative you will be. You'll step up your creative game, right? So now I am just peeling off the backs of these 9,000 little teeny tiny, I don't know why I grabbed these, but whatever. These little teeny tiny pop dots. And you know, can I just tell you, they look kind of the same, whether the the little backer tape is off or on. So you have to touch them, see which one resists your finger or which one grabs your finger. So I think that's everything. Okay, so now I'm going to adhere this, right? Stop it, look at how pretty that is. It's so pretty. And then for this, I want this flush. So I'm using score tape because it's nice and strong and you can just tear it. Look at that. Almost perfect. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. Right. Turn off that little bit. And peel this. Oh, Renee, that makes me feel so good. I know, I will say, I was just telling, so I'm just going to hear that down there. There we go. Right? And now, one of you will get this card in the mail sometime in the next couple weeks. Because I have to write thank you notes. You know, I think that there's this lost art of thank you notes. You know? Okay. Is anybody, are you ready to go on to another coloring technique? So that was, I just did some Copic coloring the other day. Oh, absolutely don't do ironing. Let's make art instead, Jennifer. You can, the ironing it's not going away. It'll stay there. That's for dang sure. Okay, so now I want to, remember a couple weeks ago we did some play with distress inks. So this particular, these two, this is how brilliant Lauren is. I'm just going to tell you. She did these two and these sentiments in one foil, and this in another foil. So this one is Heidi Swapp Light Pink foiling, and this one is Twinkling Pink by Gina K. So what I was thinking was we could just paint, we can, well, let's see, can you see that? Let's see if I move this whole thing. Right? So do you see I just smushed my ink pad down on the craft mat, right? And then just added a little bit of water from my water cup, right? And now I'm just gonna paint in here. And remember, Lauren had said that we can buff it when we're done, right? But the other thing I was thinking, so I'm doing these kind of monochromatic, except the leaves, I'll do the leaves in a green. So I'm using picked raspberry and cracked pistachio. You know, I know they're not real naturey colors, but I just wanted to do something fun and, you know, exciting. Okay, so we did this, and we're gonna let that dry, right? So let's paint this other. So I'm gonna take my ink pad again. Whoops, picked raspberry. I'm gonna squish it down on the craft mat. And then I'm gonna take my brush. And you see I have, this is an 8, number 8 round. Because I just want to just put like a big washy background of color. Nothing too precise. Whoops, I overshot it. I will say that I don't think that you can remove that. I don't think. I think that once distress ink is down as a watercolor, you know, I have all my tricks for removing watercolor, but this is on a smoother cardstock, and it's not really conducive to, let's see if I can, I don't think that it's conducive to removing color. Let's see. Try there. See, it's not moving. But here's the thing. The other thing that we can do that I did on another card this week was that I created last Thursday, I believe, I did some coloring with my Zigs, my Zig Clean Color Real Brush, and this is the card that I've created with them. I took the image that was in the A2 and I just fussy cut it, and then I mounted it on a piece of embossed white cardstock, and then mounted that on a piece of green cardstock. I just really like it. I do. So just know that, like, if you overshoot this like this, you can totally come back and cut it up, right? Fussy cut it a little bit. So I know you're not going to believe this, but I am going to wipe this up. I'm wasting color. I know. It's a kind of a mortal sin in my book, but we only have an hour, right? So now I'm going to take my cracked pistachio and do the same technique. Wet my brush. Make sure the pink is out of there. So I'm just wetting my brush and I'm just wiping it onto my, there, do you see the pink that's still coming out? So we're gonna wipe it on my paint cloth. Then we're gonna grab some more water, make some watercolor. So this will totally boost your watercolors. Think about, everybody has some kind of distress ink, right? So all of those distress inks can totally be watercolors. So I'm just going to start with a light wash of this color because I think it is a nice contrast to the bright pink. And it's kind of funky with the pink foiling. So let's color here. Right? How is everybody today? Good? So let's grab a little bit more color, a little deeper. So let's think about where we think that the deeper colors would be. So by the stem, by the veins in the leaf, where the leaf intersects, like where the leaf meets the petal that's right on top of it, that will be a little bit darker. And remember, we can just go in and just barely, barely add some color. We can just tap some color in there. And the cool thing about that is that it won't be a stark line of color, right? It'll be almost mottled, right? Okay, so for the next thing, I can see that this is still wet. So I want to set it aside and let it dry a little bit before I do the next technique, which is zigs. So I'm going to let this dry, because do you see, you can still see the dark down here. But do you see, you can kind of see that, look at that, so pretty. Let's see if we can deepen that. Yep, so pretty. Right, the intensity of the foil just pops just a little tiny bit, and that's so cool. because I want to do even more color. So remember when we did the distress technique where we added, yay Jennifer, you're totally going to be tippy tappy and jiggy jaggy in. Okay, so remember we're going to take ink on just one side of the foam, and we're just going to come in and just deepen that on the edges. Am I still on camera? Right? Let's try here. Here. Tap, tap, tap. So remember, it's better to just take it nice and slow when you're adding color like this. Just little by little, we're gonna add, just kind of flicking the color up toward the center, but not super, we're just taking our time. I don't know a better way to say that. There. Right, so we're just gonna add some from the edges to right here. I just think that it's cool to, I mean, if you're gonna take the time to hand paint an image, to color an image, that takes a little time, right? So it should be the star of your show. So like the flowers should be the star of the show. Everything else should be like a supporting actor, right? So I'm doing just the edges. Look right here. And I'm turning it so I get a nice angle right here. And remember, I'm gonna fussy cut this, so it doesn't have to be, it's okay if I go over the edge. If you weren't, then you could totally be a little more careful, or use a smaller, you know, they have those little stick, those little teeny stick, blender thingies. Okay, so I did that, and now let's do the same thing with the blue. Oh, excuse me, the green. So we'll set that. Oh, my table gets so crowded because I have all these big ideas, you know. So we'll add that. And then we'll do the same thing with our cracked pistachio. And then we can come in, right? There, do you see that's just adding this little bit of depth, right? So I'm gonna kind of go down the center of the leaf where it's usually a little bit darker. And like I said, the places right under the petal here. All right. So now, I'm feeling like I want to put a little more. This is, it's so wrinkly because it's still pretty wet with the watercolored paint on there, the distress ink. So I think I'm gonna let that dry a little bit and show you one more technique. How am I doing on time? Oh, we're only at a half an hour. Come on. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna set this aside and let, hey Susan Haney, give that girl a big hug for me. Let's see, I wanna make sure I put this on here so I remember. And then we can remember that we did distress ink on there. All right. So now I happen to have this art printable that Lauren did for me. And it's, so now I'm thinking we could do some, so this one is, let's see. Okay, so these are all different again. So let's see, single A2 in sentiments is Thermoweb Brutus Monroe green sketch foil. There, do you see the, you can kind of see the, that's kind of cool, right? So I'm feeling like I might want to watercolor this a little bit, and then we can fiddle around with some paper towels, or excuse me, paper, colored pencils, paper towels, whatever. So I'm gonna get a wet paintbrush, and I'm gonna put my, there, can everybody see that? So remember, I have this little bottle that I got from, I know, the foils are so pretty, aren't they? From Artistic Isle watercolors. So you can just add like a drop or two of water on everything. And that kind of gets your paints activating while you're fiddling around, like I almost always do. So I'm going to take some water from my water cup and take my brush up here, because this one I really want to do some nice layers of color, because the stop it, look how pretty that is. So this is I'm using the green from the classic set of Prima watercolor confections tin. So I'm going to try and be a little more careful on this one. Not as heavy-handed with my paint. But I want to start out with a nice light layer of color. My poor shaggy brush. You know what? I find brushes that I love, and then I can't let go of them. And then they get all shaggy on there from my Jiggy Jaggy Jennifer. I love that we can be friends, artsy friends, across the miles through the magic of technology. How cool is that, right? Okay. So this big succulent right here is the star of the show, right? But we want to, some of these other succulents, we want them to have color, but not as prominent, because we want this guy to shine. So the circles, that's a succulent called String of Pearls. And they're a pretty bright green. So we can come in and just color in those, the circles. Susan, give Bella my love. And Khalees and Nick and Nikki and Anthony and Marquise, the whole gang. And Stacy and Janet and Jim and Christy and, you know, all her kin. God bless Facebook. I feel like I can keep in touch with my friends through Facebook during the corona. So I'm gonna continue on this journey of coloring in all of these little circly succulents. And the cool thing about this foil that she used is that it's multicolored. It's not just green. It has green, and it has these sketchy lines of a lighter green. So do you see it? You can see it sort of right there. It's almost fluorescent-y. Oh, it's fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. I mean, and here's the thing. We can start like this, right? And then we can still go in with our, I would come in with sharpened colored pencils to add some little details. You could come in, you could, once this is dry, you could come in and add a little bit of yellow to some of the green. You could, oh, this, that needs to be the same. Okay, so now, whoops, here, 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 ta-da. Okay, so this, this guy right here, and this, I think I want to do like a different kind of shade of green. So I'm gonna get some blue. Can you see that? I'm gonna get some blue up here and add some green to that. Oh, I'm kind of digging that. And then add a little more water. And then let's paint this. There, can you see that? So that my greens aren't all the same. We don't want everything the same color, right? And then remember that even though this looks like a big flat layer of watercolor, with all of our work that we do after we apply the color, we can add so much more dimension. Not discounting the first way by just rubbing the color with the paper towel, because that's going to make the foil pop a little bit more, remember? Okay, so let's make these guys. So like this, I'm feeling like I want it to be more kind of tealy green, so we can fiddle with that like once that's dry. But this and, well, this and these two should be a different color. So that, I'm thinking, let's make that kind of a yellow green. So I'm going to add some green to this yellow right here. So it's quite limey. Do that here. Right. Kind of digging that. Is that all on camera? I think so. Yeah. So I'm kind of loving that. And I'm feeling like I want to maybe tap, tap, tap a little bit of that color on the top side of some of these. I don't know if you call it a petal on a succulent. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just going to tap a little bit. Do you see how that immediately adds a little bit of dimension, right? And just think about, it doesn't have to all be on one side or the other, because think about in nature, everything is a little bit, you know, all the petals don't curl one way or the other. There's lots of depth and dimension on all of those petals. I think they're called petals. Anyway, okay, so there, I've added some color, right? I'm gonna do my trick where I rinse my brush and wipe it off on my paint cloth, and then I'm gonna come back in and just tap, 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 jab, 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 jiggy, jiggy, right? And it's gonna kind of blend it. We just don't want to, if you feel like you have a little bit, if something's a little bit too wet and it's not blending out, you can just pick up that color and wipe it on your paint cloth or your paper towel. We just want to continue to work on that dimension, right? And this is just regular old cardstock. So just know that I don't want anybody to ever feel like they have to have a perfect, the perfect supplies or the perfect machines or whatever. Be like me and have a friend who has a foiling machine, and I will buy her the foil for her to foil stuff for Tessa and I, because we're although we like it, we're not as into foiling as she is. So, okay, so now I'm mixing. There was a little bit of kind of an aqua color down here. Now I'm feeling like I can add a little bit of this kind of a deeper blue over here. So I could add some of that there. That's exactly what I was looking for. So I'm gonna do it on just the ends, right? See how that's adding a little bit of dimension. And while we're waiting for that to kind of soak in, I'm feeling like that's the color I want to paint these little succulents in. And these. Hey, so what, is anybody reading anything good right now? I love that green next to that green. I love that. And this one too. So it's just like this cool juxtaposition of colors. I am reading Summer of '69 by Ellen Hildebrand. Oh, I love her stuff. Her stuff is so good. Okay, rinse, wipe it off, and then I'm going to come back in here and do my pouncy, jiggy blend, right? We just want to get rid of the rough edges. It doesn't have to be like this smooth gradation. We just want it to be a smooth, what do I want to say? Just no rough edges. Like, see that straight edge right there? We want to work that out. Water, wipe, wipe, wipe. Okay. Shut it. I'm loving that. So I'm going to let this dry, and we're going to pull the pansies back over and set this to the side, and then we're going to take our paper towel, and I'm thinking I want to do that buff thing. Let's see. And you don't really have to, oh, look at that, so sparkly and pretty. So I'm finding like a little bit of a circular motion seems to really be adding to the, oh, look how pretty that is. Can you see that? So pretty. So I might come in with like a silver colored pencil and do this little thingy in the middle. I don't know what that's called, but so I have a little bit of contrast of color, right? And remember, I'm just doing, it's quite organic the way I'm doing it. So maybe we do some in here along these. And that's going to add a little bit of dimension. Right? And remember, we're going to just follow the curve that's there in the drawing. Like, that's a perfect place to add some shadows and highlights. Here. Ooh, I think that looks good. So then let's do the same thing here. But do you see, like, it's quite organic. Like, there's no, I'm not coloring in a straight line, or I'm just kind of heading dimension, right? Because we want it to look like there's a ebb and flow of the petals, right? Can you see what I'm doing? Is the am I close enough? Is the camera close enough so that you can see the how this slowly adds dimension? Oh, I need to go up here. Just that little bit is just going to start to and it may seem like it's not doing anything, but just take your time. You might have to go over it a couple times, and you might have to come in with another color. That's okay. Because you know what? If it turns out like crap, guess what? You bought it. You can print it again. Start again. I don't want you to have to do that. I want you to be so happy. Right? So I'm going to come in here. Follow that line. See how that automatically, like just following this line here, and then here, and then coming back and softening it. That's already bringing dimension. Let's see what else we got. I have this giant tin of colored pencils. So let's try, what is this? Process red. So we could come in here with process red, right? And we're quite sharp. So we can just do our circle, 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 blending bliss, right? All those circles will just, they're just going to blend one color right into the next, one layer of color. So, and then we see how we have this automatic dimension that I've created with the stippling. So we can just kind of lightly scribble some color on there, right? And then we can come back after and blend that out. So we want to do over here and over here. Hi, Catherine. How's Auntie Sylvia today? Good, I bet. So is this, whatever with hot, you know what? Yes, Jennifer, of course you did. We all do. Like, you know, you don't know how many times, like my brilliant idea, how you see it in your head, ooh, and somehow your fingers can't make it happen. But you know what? 9 times out of 10, I really believe that most can be salvageable. You just need to be willing to dedicate a little time and effort. So now I'm going over those silver lines a little bit with the process red, and that seems to really be deepening the dimension. Under here. I mean, it doesn't really take this much time. I'm just trying to show you so many things in one fell swoop. Like I want this to look kind of ripply down here, so that's why I did the stippling so that it looks like the petal kind of do the same thing over here. It's so pretty that I'm telling you that the foil just sparkles so pretty. All right, how's that? Yes, please, Miss Catherine. My love to everybody, including Mr. Cookie. Mr. Cookie is her brand new doggie, and oh my gosh, she's so cute. So I'm gonna come in with, let's see, what is this? It's processed red. It's the exact same thing that we just had. Hot pink. That's what, oh, sorry. Remember last time we did something pink, we used hot pink, and this is not hot pink, but whatever. They like to call it that. Hot pink and processed red, they worked really well together. So we're gonna come in with that hot pink, and we're just gonna do that circly blending. Look how pretty that is. Like, it just softens any lines that we might have by just there. But remember, if it's good night, Catherine. If it's, we talked about, if it's a rounded end on your colored pencil, that is the best way to blend. If it's sharp, that's the best way to get some nice crisp lines. So fiddle with that a little bit and see what you kind of come up with. Keels, how am I doing on time? Are you still here? Because seriously, girls, I could just keep coloring and keep coloring and then you would, you know, somebody needs to tell me at some point, you need to get off and go eat some lunch. But I just love coloring so much. So do you see how 8 minutes to go? Okay, thank you. Do you see how, so for this art printable, or for this card top, we use Distress inks and colored pencils. We use 2 different Distress ink techniques, right? We used it as a paint, and then we used the blender to add some deeper dimension, and then we came back in with some colored pencils. I haven't even started with the leaves yet, but so we're going to come in and we're going to rub out the paper towel, because the colored pencils are wax based. That's going to add a little bit of a sheen to your work. There, do you see we got that much off? So we could try the same thing here, right? And then we still need to work on the petals. Then I would certainly come in and do something light, like maybe my Dr. P.H. Martin's bleed proof white in the center, so that I have something that pops it, right? But now, let's see, we can come back to the succulents, and that's pretty dry, and we did this with watercolor paint, right? So we're going to come in and we're going to buff out the foil so that it's fighting for its star status, right? Like, I would totally probably paint the background of this pink, because pink and green are opposite, and I just feel like they play really well together. Or you could certainly pull out your color wheel, and because we have many shades of green here, we could, so here, let's see, we have yellow greens and a little bit of blue greens. So look at that. So we have red orange, red, and red violet, right? So pink would totally work nicely with those, but like an orangey, like a light orangey might be kind of cool and different. Let's see. So think about that. What's the other one that I did? Oh, I showed you the card that I made already with the Copics. Let's see. So, oh, I need to, this goes with this. Because I'm kind of, because this one is teal, so I'm like, oh, the fun we could have with that. You know what we could also, ooh, I just thought of something. So this one is the same as this. I think it's the green sketch foil. Yes. So can you see how that has like lines in it? See how it's like kind of a deeper green and then it has these little veins of a lighter green? What if we did completely colored pencils on this one? I need a drink. I've been blabbing a lot. How's everybody doing? Are you on information overload, or are you still doing okay? I hope. Okay. I think I'm going to come in with, what is this, spring green, right? And I'm going to just lightly add some color to all the leaves, petals, or whatever they are, right? Just lightly. Keely, I was just drawing like crazy this morning, and I was going back and forth between listening to the Dixie Chicks' new album, Gaslighter, and Summer of '69. I was back and forth. My dogs were just looking at me like I was nuts. Like I would just be singing away, and then I'd listen to the story. Then I'd sing away, and then listen to the story. So I know this seems tedious to watch me color the entire thing, but what I have found is if I start a technique on one petal, I am just me personally. I do better if I start the whole thing at the same starting point, right? So like I colored the entire succulent with the same color, because then when I come in to add, I don't have to try and remember if I get stopped or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I don't have to come back and say, which color did I put there? So I'll just come in and little by little add. So this is Kelly green. And sometimes I like to juxtapose. This is quite a yellow green, and this is right on the verge of a blue green. Hey, Linz. No, Lindsay, watch. I can't wait to show you this. No, if you take a paper towel after you've colored it and look at, it's going to totally bring back the luster of the foil. There, do you see? So pretty. Oh, I just love it. So I just like to, little by little, add dimension with my colored pencils. I think watercolors and colored pencils are probably my favorite medium, but I make myself try and learn the other stuff, you know. And, you know, let's get real. It's color. I'm going to like anything color. Oh, what I was saying was I really like to juxtapose a yellow green next to a kind of a blue green, because I think it adds like you're just hitting different dimensions of color. I know, Linz, isn't it the coolest? I'm telling you. You need to find somebody to foil your stuff, foil one of your sheets for you. So Lindsay is my friend and mentor, who I call with all of my questions and moaning and groaning and celebrating and everything. Anyway, she also has art printables on her Etsy shop, The Paper Rabbit, and she is on Facebook Live on, are you the creator of, you know what, yeah, so Linz, one of the girls who designs for me, my friend Lauren, did a Facebook Live on Sunday, so you can go watch that, and she showed lots of different ways that you can foil. But yeah, you don't have to have a foiler, a laminator, or like a mink or whatever, but it certainly, I think it helps, and it opens up bigger avenues. So I buy the foil and then she foils for me, because she loves it and she's an expert in it. So why would I, you know? I just pick her brain constantly. Can I color over it? Can I paint over it? And the answer is yes. Yes, yes, yes. There. So do you see how just that little bit of, what is that? Kelly green. Now I'm going to come back in with my spring green. And I'm just going to do my circly, 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 blendy, blendy, blendy. Right? And I would probably, I mean, I know we're getting close here, but I would certainly deepen the colors, because, you know, I could sit here and do this till the cows come home. That's for sure. But do you see how just adding that little bit of coming back over that same color with the first color, you're just softening that thanks, Jennifer. It is almost lunchtime. I know I'm late getting lunch today, but sometimes, you know what? I can't help myself because I love coloring so much. But do you see how just that is adding, like, you can see the high point of the petal, you can see the low point, you can see where it goes underneath. I think that just adds a little something, something. And I like to just leave that center as light as possible. It's not white, remember, because we put the first coat of colored pencil on there. We colored the entire thing first. I know, Keels. Well, maybe we can send you something in the mail. I don't know. Poor Lauren. She has a big stack. But seriously, Linz, you gotta watch that video because it's just magic. It's just magic. See, I can't stop. I just keep seeing like, oh, that one little more thing. Oh, that one little thing right there, right there. Cindy, this is my art printable, and it is available on my website and Corbiere-Scott So you can purchase it for $4 and then print it till the cows come home. And every Tuesday and Thursday, I show you new things that you can do with them. So I'm going to get ready to sign off. Remember, for Saturday, you need to dig out your acrylic paints. You need to prep your page in your art journal or whatever substrate you use for our class. You're going to paint one page black, and then we're going to do our artist study with acrylic paints. Have a great day, Miss Jennifer. I just so appreciate you coming every single time. I adore you. I adore you all. I am so grateful every day that you oh my gosh, you know what? Let's add a little pink. Stop it. Look at that. Oh, come on. Just add a little bit of pink. Like I'm barely touching. See what I mean? I can't stop. I can't stop. Thank you so much. I hope that you're inspired, and I hope that you'll find a friend that foils, or get a foiling thing for yourself, or just color my art printables with your colored pencils or your distress inks, or, you know, watercolors, whatever. And then make a card and send it to a friend. I have a big giant stack that I'm sending out to a whole bunch of you. Because, you know, in this era of the pandemic, shouldn't we be sending each other some nice happy mail? Lindsay sent me something that was fabulous. So now I need to return the favor and send her something fun. Okay, I'm going to stop now, for real. So, I'll see you Thursday. Thank you so much for supporting me and painting with me, and just, you know, it just means the world. I will see you Thursday, where we will play with the mom printable. And hopefully she can tune in and see us all create with her namesake. Have a great day. I hope that you can stay cool and have a little, oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Jan. I love those Prima paints. I'm telling you, I really do. And they're so compact, right? That's just a little tiny tin that, ta-da! I love it. So, have a great day, and I will see you on Thursday. Bye, girls.